Hi guys, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we'll be looking at likely GCE mathematics past questions that would be coming out in your forthcoming exams. Now, our first question says, what is the total surface area of a cuboid whose dimensions are 12, 8, and 3 centimeters? Now, looking at a cuboid, we have the shape of a cuboid this way. Now, we are told that the length is 12, the breadth is 8, and the height is 3. Now, for us to find the total surface area of this, total surface area, we'll be using the formula 2 bracket length times breadth plus length times height plus breadth times height. Now, where our length will be 2 bracket 12 times 8 plus 12 times 3 plus 8 times 3. Okay, so this will give us 2 brackets 12 times 8 would give us 96 plus 36 plus 24. So 96 plus 36 plus 24 would give us 2 times 1, 5, 6, which would give us 312 centimeter square. So the area of our cuboid, total surface area of our cuboid will be 312 centimeter squared. If sine 30 degrees is 0.5, what is the cosine of its complement? Now, when we talk about complementary angles, we talk about sum of two angles that sum up to 90 degrees. So if we have a right angle triangle this way, so let's call this adjacent. Let's call this sine 30. So this will become opposite, and this will be adjacent. All right. Now, in this case, we are told that our angle is sine 30. Sine theta is 0.5, which is 1 over 2. Okay. So if we are looking for the complement of sine 30, which is 60, the complement of 30 would be 90 minus 30, which will give us 60 degrees. So this would be 60 degrees. So if you're looking for this, we need to find sine 30 is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so bearing in mind that our opposite is 1 and our adjacent is 2. Okay, our hypotenuse is 2. So we need to find our adjacent using our Pythagoras theorem that says that hypotenuse squared equals opposite squared plus adjacent squared. All right, so this gives us sine 30 will be 2 squared equals 1 squared plus adjacent squared. So this will give us 2 squared will be 4 equals 1, so plus adjacent. So our adjacent squared will be 4 minus 1, which is 3. So adjacent will be root 3. Okay, so our adjacent being root 3. Now, the complement of this are cosine 30 cos 60 in this case, which is adjacent over hypotenuse, would be, here will be our adjacent and here will be our hypotenuse. So cos 60, opposite here will be considering cos 60 here, cos 60 here will be our adjacent and this will be our opposite. Okay, and while this is our hypotenuse. So considering cos 60 here will become 1 over 2. All right, so cos 60, which is the complement of sine 30, will still be 0.5. All right, our next question says a petrol attendant recorded the number of vehicles that bought petrol from him for 3 hours and recorded 12 cars and 27 buses. What is the probability that the next vehicle will be a bus? Now, the probability of car equals 12 over our total number of vehicles here will be 39. Now, the probability of buses would be 27 over 39. Now, when broken down to its lowest term, we have this as 3 here, 9, 3 here, 13. So the probability that the next vehicle would be a bus would be 9 over 13. Two parallel chords of a circle are respectively 46 centimeter and 40 centimeter long. If the radius of the circle is 25 centimeter and the center of the circle lies between the two chords, what is the distance between the chords? Now, let's represent this. We have a circle, right? And this is our center of a circle. We have our first chord. They say the chords are parallel, all right? That means they are straight towards each other. And we have our radius from the center here, 25, and this, 25, okay? Now, if our first chord, which is 46 centimeter long, and this is a 40 centimeter long chord, all right? From our circle, we are asked to find the distance between these two chords. So we are asked to find this. All right, now for the purpose of this, we know that in our circle theorem, that when a line from the center of our circle bisects, touches our chord, it forms a 90 degrees, which means it's perpendicular to the chord. So bringing out this, we have this as the first part. Okay, let's call this y 25, and 46 divided by 2 will give us 23. So this becomes 23. Okay, and for the second one, the lower one, we have this as x 25. 40 divided by 2 will give us 20. Now, in both of these triangles, we have it as a right angle triangle. So we can apply our Pythagoras theorem. Now, in application of our Pythagoras theorem here, we have this as 25 squared equals 23 squared plus y squared. So this gives us y squared equals 25 squared minus 23 squared. So y equals square root of 25 squared minus 23 squared. Now y will give us 25 squared will be 625 minus 23 squared, which is 529. So 25 squared minus 23 squared would give us y equals root 96. Now root over 96, root 96 would be 9.8, approximately 9.8 centimeter. Now that's the value for y. Now working on x, still using our Pythagoras theorem, where we have 25 squared equals 20 squared plus x squared. So this becomes x squared equals 25 squared minus 20 squared. So x equals root 25 squared minus 20 squared. Now root 25 is 625 and 20 is 400. So this gives us 225. So square root of 225 would give us 15 centimeters. So for the distance between the two chords, all right, they say we should find what is the distance between the two chords. Distance between the two chords will become x plus y. Now, x is 15 plus y, which is 9.8, would give us 15 plus 9.8 would give us 24.8 centimeters. So the distance between the two chords would be 24.8 centimeters. The angle of elevation of the top T of a palm tree from a point R on the ground is 30 degrees. The distance from R to the base B of the palm tree is 120 meters. What is the distance between T and R? Now we have our palm tree. and we have our ground. Now this is B, base, and this is our T, top. Now, and these are points R. Alright, now they say the distance between B and R is 120 meters, and the point of elevation is 30 degrees. Now, remember that this forms what? A 90 degrees to the ground, forming a right angled triangle. Alright, now knowing that our adjacent here is our angle of elevation is 30 degrees, we are asked to find the distance between TR, which is our hypotenuse. So we are asked to find this. Alright, in order to get this, we need to use our, since we have our adjacent, this is our adjacent, and we are looking for hypotenuse. So we are using cos 30 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Alright, where our adjacent is what? 120, and the hypotenuse is unknown. Okay, so our hypotenuse x will become 120 divided by cos 30, and cos 30 is giving us x equals 120 over root 3 over 2. Alright, inverse of this will give us x equals 120 over 1 times 2 over root 3. Okay, now if we rationalize this, we have this as 240 over root 3, which is going to give us, when rationalized, will give us 240 times root 3 over root 3. Okay, multiplying this out, our x will become 240 times root 3 all over 3. So 240 divided by 3 will give us 80 root 3 meters. So our answer would be 80 root 3 meters. The probability that a student will pass a mathematics test is 3 over 5. If 3 students are chosen at random, what is the probability that at least 2 of them will pass the test? Now, let's look at it. We have probability of pass is given as 3 over 5. That means the probability of fail will be 1 minus 3 over 5, which is 2 over 5. Now, if 3 students are chosen at random, okay, the probability that at least 2 passes out of the 3, okay, will be probability of pass plus probability of fail. So the probability that at least 2 passes will be the probability of pass plus, the probability that at least 2 passes, 2 pass, plus the probability that 3 of them would pass. Alright, now, if we have, let's label this as A, B, C, the 3 chosen candidates. Now, the first probability of 2 passing will be 3 over 5, 3 over 5, and the fail here will be 2 over 5. Probability that A fails will be 2 over 5, 3 over 5, 3 over 5. And probability that B fails will be 3 over 5, 2 over 5, 3 over 5. So in each of these probabilities, we have this. Alright, we have this as 3 times 3, 9. 9 times 2, 18 over 125. 18 over 125 and 18 over 125. Alright, that's the probability that 2 would pass. And probability that 3 of them would pass would be 3 over 5 times 3 over 5 times 3 over 5, which gives us 27 over 125. Now bringing all this together, let's look at the total sum of these would be 18 over 125 plus 18 over 125 plus 18 over 125 which gives us 125 all over 18 plus 18 plus 18 will give us 54 over 125. Now, knowing that the probability that 2 passes will give us 54 over 125, we have it as 54 over 125 plus 27 over 125. Okay, our LCM will still remain 125. So 54 plus 27 would give us 81 over 125. So the probability that at least 2 of them passes the test would be 81 over 125. What is the total surface area of a cylinder with radius 2 cm? We are given radius as 2 cm and height as 1.5 centimeter. Now, we say they are asking us to correct the 2 significant figures. Now, we have our total surface area of a cylinder as 2 pi r brackets r plus h. Alright, where r is our radius, pi is our constant, and h is the height of our cylinder. Now, using this formula, we have it as 2 times 3.142 times our radius, 2 times 2 plus 1.5. Alright, now this gives us 2 times 3.142 times 2 brackets 3.5. Okay, so multiplying through, we have this as 2 times 3.142 times 2 times 3.5, which gives us 43.988 centimeters squared. Now, since we are asked to round off to 2 significant figures, means we should just have just 2 figures out of these entire numbers. So this gives us 44 centimeters squared as our answer. A wire is shaped to form a square of area 81 centimeters squared. We have a square. Alright, now an equilateral triangle was formed from the same wire. What is the length of the sides of the triangle formed? Now, we know that for area of a square, area of square equals length times length, or it's called L squared, equals 81. So for L will be square root of 81, which will give us 9 centimeters. So that means for each of these sides is 9 cm, 9 cm, 9 cm, and 9 cm. So for us to know the entire length of the wire, we'll calculate the perimeter of the square. So perimeter of square would be 4L, which is 4 times 9, which gives us 36 centimeters. So the perimeter of this square will be 36. 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 would give us 36 centimeters. Now, since they said this wire was not shaped to form an equilateral triangle whose all sides are equal. Now, the 3 sides are equal, so you can have this as L, L, L. Now, if the 3 sides of our equilateral triangle are equal, now, for us to find the length of our triangle, perimeter of triangle equals 36 centimeters, which is the perimeter of our square. So length of triangle, length of one side of triangle side, length of triangle side equals 36 divided by 3, which gives us 12 centimeters. So one length is 12 cm. So which is our option D. One bag contains 4 white balls and 2 black balls. Another bag contains 3 white balls and 5 black balls. If one ball is drawn from each bag, what is the probability that both are white? Now, we have first bag, 4 white and 2 black. Now, under this first bag, the probability of white would be 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3 when broken down. And probability of black would be 2 over 6, which is 1 over 3. Now, for the second bag, we have our 3 white balls, 3 whites, and 5 blacks. All right, now probability of white here would be 3 over 8, and probability of black would be 5 over 8. Now, it says what's the probability that if one ball is drawn from each bag, so this will be probability of white from bag 1 times probability of white from bag 2. All right, so this will give us 2 over 3 times 3 over 8, which gives us what? 6 over 24. Or we can still break it down here as 2 here 1, 2 here 4, 3 here 1, 3 here 1, which will give us 1 over 4. So the probability that both will be white will be 1 over 4. A quadratic equation with roots x equals minus 1, 1 over 2, and x equals 1 over 4 is, so we are looking for the quadratic equation that gave rise to these roots. Now, let's first of all convert this to improper fraction. This becomes 2 times 1, 2, plus 1, 3, minus 3 over 2. So now having x equals minus 3 over 2, cross multiply, this becomes 2x equals minus 3. All right, moving over the other side becomes 2x plus 3 equals 0. Now, for this other one, we have it as x equals 1 over 4. Cross multiply, we have 4x equals 1. So 4x minus 1 equals 0. Now, bringing these two terms together, we have it as 2x plus 3 times 4x minus 1. Now, this times this will give us, okay, let's do it this way, 2x bracket 4x minus 1 plus 3 bracket 4x minus 1 equals 0. Now, 2 times 4 will give us 8x squared minus 2x plus 12x minus 3 equals 0. Now, this will give us 8x squared plus 10x minus 3 equals 0. So this is the equation that gave rise to this root. So our answer will be option D. Now, what are the factors of 2x squared minus xy minus 3y squared? Now, in order to get the factors of this, we have to look for factors that can give us 2x minus xy. So our minus xy, our xy we know we'll get our have as plus 2xy minus 3xy. All right, this will give us minus xy. So imputing this for this here, in order to have a common factorable factor, we have it as 2x squared plus 2xy minus 3xy minus 3y squared. Now we can now factorize this. Now what's common here will give us 2x, all right, x plus y minus what's common here is 3y will leave us with x plus y. So here we have it as 2x minus 3y and x plus y. So these are the factors of this. We have 2x minus 3y and x plus y. 3 sets of rice, x, y, z, x, y, and z are sold for 15 naira, 35 naira, and 60 naira per kg, respectively. If they are mixed in the ratio of 1:3:2, what is the cost per kg of the mixture? Now, if they are mixed in this ratio, okay, this will become 15 times 1, 15, plus 35 times 3 would give us 105, plus 60 times this will give us 120. Okay, our total ratio here is what? 6. So 105 plus 120 plus 15 would give us 105 plus 15 plus 120 would give us 240. So our total mix is 240. So for the cost per kg of the mixture will become 240 divided by 6, which will give us 40. So the cost per kg would be 40 naira. When a shirt is sold for 12,000 naira, a loss of 20% is recorded. How much should it be sold for to gain 20%? Now, our selling price is 12,000 naira and we have loss of 20%. Now, we know that for loss is cost price minus selling price, all right? And percentage loss is cost price minus selling price, which is loss over cost price times 100 over 1. Now, in this case, our selling price is 12,000. So, and our loss percent is 20. So, imputing those data here, we have this as 20 equals cost price minus 12,000 all over cost price times 100 over 1. All right, cross multiplying, we have this as 20 cost price equals 100 cost price minus 12,000. So we have it as 1.2. Okay, now collecting our like terms, this will become 1.2 equals 100 minus 20, 100 cost price minus 20 cost price. So this gives us 1200, 1.2 equals 80 cost price. So our cost price will become 1.2 divided by 80. So we have 1,200,000 divided by 80, which gives us our cost price will be 15,000. Now, knowing that our cost price is 15,000, how much should it be sold to make 80%, 20% gain? Now, our cost price is 15,000. All right, and our percentage gain is 20%. Now, for us to gain, we know we are having selling price minus cost price, okay? And our percentage gain would be selling price minus cost price all over cost price times 100 over 1. Now, our gain percent is 20 equals selling price, which we are looking for, minus our cost price, which is 15,000, times 100 all over 15,000. Now, cross multiplying, this gives us 300,000 equals 100 selling price minus 1.5. Okay, now moving our 1.5 over to this side, we have it as 300,000 plus 1.5 equals 100 selling price. So adding these two together, we have this as 1.8 equals 100 selling price. So selling price would be 1.8 divided by 100. 0 cancels 0, leaving us with selling price would be 18,000. So we have to sell the shirt for 18,000 to make 20% gain. The ratio of the circumference to the diameter of a circle is approximately equal to what? Now, if we look at the circumference of a circle, circumference of circle is given as 2 pi r, and we know that diameter is 2 radius. All right. Now they're asking for the ratio of our circumference to our diameter. Now, if our circumference is 2 pi r and our diameter is 2r, we can divide both sides by 2r. So this becomes divided by 2r over 2r. So this will cancel, leaving us with pi is to 1. So the ratio of our diameter, of our circumference to our diameter, would be the value of our pi, which is 3.142. Twice a number x is added to 5. The result is at least 11. What is the range of the values of x? So if we have a number to be x and they say twice a number, so 2 times x is added to 5, and the result is at least. At least means the least number should be 11. It could be greater than 11. So we are using our sign greater than or equal to 11. All right. Now, what is the value range of x? So that means from here we can solve this out as our inequality, having this to be 2x plus 5 is greater than or equals to 11. So 2x is greater than or equals to 11 minus 5. 2x is greater than or equals to 6. Dividing both sides by 2. 2x over 2, 6 over 2. So our x will be greater than or equals to plus or minus 3, okay, which is 3. So the value of x ranges from 3, which is x is greater than or equals to 3. The mean height of 3 groups of students consisting of 20, 16, and 14 students are 1.67 meters, 1.50 meters, and 1.40 meters respectively. What is the mean height of all the students? Now, let's call this group A, group B, and group C. Now, group A consists of 20 students, group B 16, and group C 14 students. Now, the average height here is 1.67 meters, 1.50 meters, and 1.40 meters. Now, we know to calculate our mean is our EFX over N, all right? Now, or our EF over N, whichever. So for each and every of them, we'll calculate their mean. Now, we are given that the mean height is 1.67 equals EFX over N, which is 20, all right? And for group B, we have it as 1.5 equals EFX over 16. And for group C, we have it as 1.4 times equals EFX over 14. So our EFX here, EFX for group A would be 1.67 times 20, which gives us 33.4. All right. Our EFX for group B would be 1.5 times 16, which gives us 24. And our EFX for group C would be 1.4 times 14, which gives us 19.6. Now, since we are looking for the mean height of all the students, we are going to add up all our EFX. So we have it as 33.4 plus 24 plus 19.6, which will give us 77. Now, the total summation for all the height of all the students will be 77. Now, this is for the EFX, total EFX. Let's call this total EFX. All right, so the total number of students, total number would be 20 plus 16 plus 14. All right, this will be 30. 30 plus 20 will give us 50. So our mean will become total EFX over total number. All right, so our mean will become 77 over 50. 77 divided by 50 would give us 1.54 meters. So the mean height of all the students would be 1.54 meters. All right, guys, with this, we've come to the end of today's class. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.
Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 types of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Kakao,